Hello everyone, Manifest Meditation here. It is Thursday, October the 16th, and it is the feast day of Saint Margaret Juville, Margaret Juville, Canadian saint, or a saint who died in Canada. Okay, we continue with the Epistle to the Romans. For we hold that a person is justified by faith apart from works prescribed by the law. Or is God the God of Jews only? Is he not the God of Gentiles also? Yes, of Gentiles also, since God is one, and he will justify the circumcised on the ground of faith, and the uncircumcised through the same faith. Paul is saying here, the law, when he says the law, he doesn't mean the Ten Commandments. He means the ceremonial, the liturgical, dietary laws that were required to be kept, but served as a kind of temporary teacher, if you will, that kept the Jews, that were supposed to help the Jewish people live a life apart from the Gentiles and keep them ritually pure, which was meant to help them be spiritually pure, but the means became an end. That was the problem. And it's always a problem with us, even as Catholics. You know, people can put more onus on lighting a candle and saying a rosary than going to confession. No, or receiving the Holy Eucharist, or making a good act of contrition and repenting of one's sin. You can say 1,000 rosaries, but if you don't repent of a mortal sin, you're still going to hell. And you know it's a mortal sin, that is. So this is something that's with fallen human nature. It's not just the Jewish people, it's with us Catholics too. And Christians have their own thing, who are not Catholic. Okay, to the Gospel of Luke, another couple of woes, meaning corrective terms. He says, basically, for you build the tombs of the prophets whom your ancestors killed, so you are witnesses, and approve the deeds of your ancestors, for they killed them. And you build the tombs. Therefore, also the wisdom of God said, I will send them prophets and apostles. So it is, he said, basically, you're going to do the same thing to me. You said you would never participate in that. If you were back then, oh yeah, you would have actually, because you're going to do the same thing to me. You're going to crucify the Son of God. And then, so we have to, he's once again challenging them to really do a deep dive into their conscience, to see what they're really like, to measure their actions against the commandments of God, virtues of charity, and so on, justice, temperance, and this kind of thing. How are they treating others? How are they ultimately treating God? And how are they treating those around them? This is always something that you and I need to measure ourselves against. How we treat God, how we treat others. God bless you.